Hello, everyone. Welcome. We will get started here in just a couple of seconds. Thank you for being here. Awesome. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to Gemini and Google Classroom for Champion Teachers. My name is Josh Voiles. I am an instructional technology coordinator with Midland ISD, and I am a part of the technology integration department. Before I get going here, you're going to see that there's a QR code on a lot of the pages in this presentation. And so I wanted to make that available to everyone. If you're on a phone or something like that, don't worry. This will be posted on YouTube as well, probably by tomorrow morning, I would say, at the latest, or sometime tomorrow at the latest. And so don't worry, you're still going to have a way to get to that. And also, if you're here, you didn't sign up on Eduphoria, but you just logged in, I will be able to give you credit based off of your logging into this Google meeting. So don't worry about that either. But if you do have any questions, you're always feel free to email me directly and I can answer those questions for you. So this is just a little bit about our department. So the Technology Integration Department, we exist to help teachers use technology to make the classroom a better place. And so if you have any technology questions, you're always more than welcome to email us at techhelp@midlandisd.net. Also, we encourage you guys follow us on X. If you have an X account, you can find us at Midland ISD Tech. And we also have a website. It's in there on the main Midland ISD website, but you can find it really quick by just going to midlandisd.net/itech. And my favorite actually is the YouTube channel. We all encourage you to go and check out that YouTube channel. So there's QR codes and links to those there. But if you just go on YouTube and you search Midland ISD Tech, you should be able to find us pretty easily. We're like the second channel. There's a main Midland ISD channel is the first one, but then you'll see the technology one. And so go and check that out because we've got a lot of our really great previous sessions that we've done uploaded as videos on there. We constantly keep that updated. If you've missed any of those other ones this last couple of weeks, you'll be able to go find it on there. And we have some really good tech, like our Tech Talks, Tech Tuesday trainings that we've had are on there as well. So definitely go check that out. So today I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. So let me see. I think we have a question from Desiree. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I'm sorry if I'm.
Where did you say those videos were?
So if you just search Midland ISD Tech on YouTube, you should find it. I can go back to that QR. Oh, you're probably on a phone there, but yeah, if you just search Midland ISD and then technology or Midland ISD Tech or anything like that in the search, you'll see that as one of the channels that you'll see. So hopefully, yeah, and this will be posted. I will have that posted by tomorrow. And so you'll always be able to go back and get the presentation from that video as well. Also, if you did sign up on Eduphoria, I will email you guys a link after this training as well to the YouTube video once I get that posted. All right, so yeah, feel free to ask questions, but I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. To be honest, this is a presentation, but I didn't want to just show you guys everything from a presentation. You know, I want to actually go out, leave my presentation, and go into Gemini and Google Classroom to show you guys how to do this. So this presentation is more or less just kind of a cheat sheet for me to go off of to remember what all I want to show you. But there's about 5 tools that I want to show you in this training today. The first one is lesson plans. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at how to generate quizzes, really cool tool in Gemini. I want to show you guys the informational text tool. There's the releveling text is another good, that's probably my favorite. And then creating rubrics. So we're going to be looking at all of these things today. I'm going to try to remember to go back to this last page, but just in case, here it is. This QR code you do not need to fill out to get credit. This is just to give us feedback to let me know how I did today. So if I did really good or really bad, you know, you can tell me. And so we welcome you to do that. That session code is on there. When you're filling out the form, you'll need that session code to let them know that this was the training you attended. That session ID is 42000. Real quick, I'm going to try to remember to put this up at the end as well, but this is just an added bonus for you guys. This is a website that I found. His name is Eric Kurtz. He's the creator of this website. It's called EduGems, and I'll explain more about what gems are in a second, but gems are basically these little bots or tools in Gemini that you can create. And this is a website full of ones that he already pre-created for teachers. So there's the QR code, or if you can't get to the QR code, you can just literally type in EduGems on Google and find his website. So I just wanted to give that to you guys. I thought it was really neat. And so let's go. I want to go ahead and let's just jump in. I'm going to switch to my Google Classroom, and hopefully everyone can see that. Okay, so this is my Google Classroom. Now, obviously, I used to be a teacher. I taught graphic design and digital media for 4 years for high school, freshman to senior level, and so, but I don't have students now, and so on my Google Classroom, you're not seeing a lot of classes that I have, but these are just some fake classes that I set up. Some demo classes and another class that I'm with with Marissa that she created. For today, I wanted to use this fake astronomy class. I'm a real big astronomy geek, and so I wanted to find just at least one thing that I could relate to you guys as teachers today. And so even though I didn't teach astronomy, I thought it would be a good example to use. So here's my astronomy class. And so the first thing, so here's the first thing I want to tell you guys is that there's a little bit of misunderstanding sometimes when it comes to Gemini. You may have thought I was going to do a class on Gemini, like actual Gemini, but that's actually not what we're doing our session on today. We're actually looking at, this is brand new. I think it's only been a couple of months. In the Google Classroom, you'll see a new tab called Gemini. So Gemini, Google just dropped this. You can get to Gemini and Gemini tools straight from Google Classroom. So that's what today I want to be showing you guys about. I was really excited when we saw this at a conference. And so right off the bat, we can just click into the Gemini tab, and you'll see the home page is actually pretty straightforward. It's not a real huge, basically what you get, the first thing you see is all these tools for different things that you can do with Gemini built into Google Classroom. Now, if you're not seeing all of the same tools, you should see a little tab here at the bottom where it says you can expand to see more. So if you're not seeing all of those tools, just look for that button, and you should have all of the same ones that I have. There's also a link to Notebook LM. We're not going to have time to go into that today. But Marissa has some really great trainings on YouTube about Notebook LM, so go and check that out. Here are those gems that I was telling you about. You can create a gem. So a gem is a custom version of Gemini that can be that can help with any topic, like a specialist. So it's kind of like a bot that you can create, and you, like for instance, You can upload standards to a gem, and it can repeatedly generate assessments based on those sources and on the web on the internet as well. So that's kind of what a gem is. And then there's some brainstorming tools here as well. So really what I want to do is jump right in. I'm going to go to this first tool. I want to show you guys how to do a lesson plan. So we're going to just click on lesson plan here. And I have a teak that I have ready to go here. And this is where it says describe the topic and the standard you want to teach and the knowledge or skill you want the students to demonstrate. So this is really cool because you can literally just drop your teak right into here. So I have this 8th grade teak, 8.8a, and it says recognize that the sun is a medium-sized star near the edge of the spiral galaxy and that the sun is only one of billions of stars in the universe. I think that's a pretty cool teak, right? I'm like I said, I'm an astronomy geek, so I thought that was pretty cool. We're going to target grade 8, just as an example. Our template we can just leave as general. Here's a really cool part of this, in my opinion, is you can do it with just that, but there's also this button here that says you can upload from your drive, and you can upload relevant instructional materials. So basically, as a teacher, obviously, as teachers, we have a lot of instructional materials that we probably accumulate over the years. As a teacher, I would go on Google and just find really cool stuff that I like to use. And so what I have today is something that I found on Google. It's called the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. And this diagram is used in astronomy. Astronomers use this to plot different sizes and colors and densities of different types of stars. And so there's kind of a map of all the different types of star and basically showing the kids that our sun is kind of a medium-sized yellow star. So that's the idea here that I'm giving you. So this is what it looks like. I can't show you the PDF without changing what I'm presenting here, but that's what the PDF I have basically has inside of it. And so I found that PDF and it's what I want to use in my lesson. So let's go back to the lesson. I'm going to upload from the drive. Now what's really cool is you can scan, there's my Hertzsprung-Russell diagrams, the PDF. I can add that from my drive, or if it's just on your computer, you can upload it. Click over to this other tab here that says upload, and then you can browse. And for some reason that's not showing up, but I can browse my computer as well. Now, just a quick little tip. We recommend that you always keep everything in Google Drive. That way you can get to it from anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and here's my PDF. I'm going to add that. So I've got my teak, I've got my grade, I've got my diagram that I want to create around this, use this to create this lesson. So I'm going to generate some learning objectives. A lot of these tools you're going to see first, it takes you through learning objectives, and then it will actually let you create the lesson. So here's my learning objectives. These I can edit, I can add to this if I want to, or I can delete one if I want my lesson to literally just focus on one objective. Students will be able to describe the sun as a medium-sized star located near the edge of a spiral galaxy. Students will be able to recognize that the sun is only one of billions of stars in the universe. Okay, so that's pretty cool in my opinion. I think I'll just go with that. There's this really neat part right here where I can describe my class. It's optional, but I have kind of a pre-made thing here that I'm going to, so this is kind of what I'm describing as my class. When I was a teacher, that's kind of how my students were. So basically, like, this is just as an example, my class has 23 students with diverse learning needs, including ELL and students who are gifted and talented. They use Chromebooks. They enjoy hands-on and tech-based activities. They are visual with an interest in real-world connections and love owning their learning by generating ideas and doing leadership projects. So we did a lot of projects and things at the school that I used to teach at. So I kind of use that as an example. But you don't have to do that. Describing your class just kind of helps it create the lesson plan. So let's just click generate. This might take a few seconds. I've noticed it was doing a little bit slower today during our first session. But I love what it creates. Usually it's going to create a really solid lesson plan. So we'll just give it a few seconds here. Okay, so here's our lesson plan. We can drop down and see everything that we've got. And if we forget something, we can just do like edit details or regenerate. So that's always an option. but we don't need that. And so let's just look at what it's giving us. It's the sun's place, an ordinary star in a vast universe. It gives us a lesson overview. That's pretty cool, right? Ashley's giving her little horn there. We've got lesson overview. The inquiry-based lesson guides students to analyze astronomical data and models to understand the sun's characteristics, okay? Materials, it gives us some materials that we need, maybe the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram that I uploaded, some pencils, stuff like that. Preparation required, common misconceptions. I like this part. It always gives a misconception, so it helps me to get into the student's mind and think about ways that they could be misconceiving it and anticipate that. So basically, one misconception is that the sun is the biggest and brightest, most unique star in the universe. And we think that because obviously we go around the sun. That's our star. Another misconception, all stars are distributed randomly in space, or that the sun is near the center of the universe. That's a common misconception that students have. So that's a great way to have an educational dialogue with the students. Pretty cool, right? And Desiree, yeah, you had a question?
I didn't mean to, sorry.
Oh, okay. No problem. I just want to make for sure we get that. Thanks, Sue. She gives us a little heart. So I can see some of you guys are already enjoying this, and hopefully you can use this. Here's the activity. Now, a lot of times it'll give you multiple activities, so you don't have to use all of those. But what I like to do is sometimes keep them. You could go in and chat with this and say, take out the 2 activities. I don't need those. But I actually just like to keep them because it's there and I can export this to a doc and use it later in another lesson. I can make this a 3-part lesson, or I could just use all of the activities. So here's the first one. It's the stellar profile. Students will use the HR diagram to plot and locate the sun. So they get to make their own diagram. Next activity, mapping our cosmic neighborhood, galaxy modeling. So that's pretty cool. They can model the galaxy, the Milky Way, billions of stars. Okay, so you see we've got all these different activities we can do. And then it gives us an exit ticket if we want that. Now here I can export, and this is where you're going to hear me say this multiple times through today's training is I highly recommend, no matter what it is, export that to a doc. So if I click export to doc, because if I leave this page, then I lose whatever it generated. So now it's going to take me to a Google Doc, and you can see I've got all of that here saved, and this is in my Google Drive, so I can always get back to that and use it again. Okay, Amanda, you like that? That's pretty cool, right? So also I've got some more options. I can incorporate options. I can provide 3 alternative activities. So it's just another way to kind of regenerate. I can shift the focus to project-based learning. And once again, I can chat with it to modify this, but I'm not going to do that for time's sake. I'm just going to go ahead and go with what it gave me. These 3 buttons here at the bottom, I really love this, okay? This one will take you to find videos. So if we click on finding videos, I believe what it's going to do is attach to YouTube, because YouTube belongs to Google now too, if I'm not mistaken. And so here we've got some really cool videos that we can attach. Stars, about stars for kids, astronomy, Stars 101, that's a National Geographic. It's giving us one from Khan Academy. So it's only going to pick videos that are relevant and vetted. Stars and Galaxies, the Universe by Khan Academy. So I could add that to it. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. You can always go and search through some videos. There's a second one here that I can add to the lesson. It's called Create More Hooks. So a hook, this is a really cool page that you can use. You can add that to your lesson. It's picking up that we're still on grade 8 and it's keeping the teak. And what we can do is pick through kind of some pre-made buttons here. And what I want to do, I usually go for the surprising fact. So I like to grab my students' attention with a surprising fact. And if I click generate, it's going to give me some facts here that I can use. And I can attach that to the lesson if I want to. So here we've got the sun's identity crisis. Okay. Surprising fact, a speck of dust comparison. And it kind of gives you some materials as well. Okay. Once again, you can export that, or you can just copy the text. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm just going to go back to the lesson, but you could add a surprising fact to the lesson if you want to. Okay, awesome. So I think we're really good. We've got that saved to a document. I can use that for my students. Now I want to go to the second tool that I want to show you guys, and it's this one. It's generate a quiz. Now we can generate a quiz from scratch from the home page, or we can do it from after we generate the lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can see here now it takes me to the new page of generating a quiz. This is the same page I would get if I just clicked on the tool from the home page of generate a quiz. So it's got my target grade. It'll let you put in the number of questions you want. I'm just going to put in 3 questions as an example. It's got my TEAK. I can regenerate learning objectives if I need to, but the 2 that it gave me I think is great. And now I can choose my question types. I'm just going to go with multiple choice. Pretty cool. And then let's generate some questions. Now, while this is generating, I want to put a disclaimer, okay? Sometimes, for some reason, hopefully it's just for me, it fails when I'm attaching that to my Google Classroom. So just try. I've also noticed sometimes it'll say that it failed, but it really didn't. And you have that quiz now, it's sitting in your Google Forms. So if you go to the Google Forms app, you'll see that. So it may not attach directly to your Google Classroom, but it's usually will still make the quiz, and you can still upload that later. So, or link that to an assignment later in Google Classroom. So here's the questions. Which one of the following is best describes the sun's size and location in the Milky Way galaxy? Is it A, a large star located in the central bulge of the galaxy? Is it B, a small star located outside the spiral arm? Is it C, a medium-sized star located near the edge? Or D, a medium-sized star located at the very center? Okay, so it's already kind of confusing. Who wants to answer that question? Anybody? Anybody? Oh man, you guys saw the answer already. Okay. There it is. The answer is C. It's a medium-sized star located near the edge of the spiral galaxy. All right. So pretty cool, right? So it's giving me my questions. Okay. Now here's the part I was telling you. Once again, you can chat with this and modify, but I'm going to go ahead and export. This is the tricky part right here. Hopefully it will work. I see that usually half the time it will fail or it'll work. So I would say before you leave this page of the quiz that it generated, once again, go ahead and export this to a doc just in case you want to keep those questions, okay? I'm telling you to do that. I'm not going to do that right now for time's sake, but please, anytime you generate a quiz, you want to make sure that you don't lose that quiz, go ahead and export that to docs. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my Google Classroom, though, as a quiz. I get to choose the class, so it's astronomy class. I can choose if it's an assignment, a quiz assignment, question, material. I'm going to go ahead and do quiz, and then we're going to confirm. Okay, this is the iffy part, fingers crossed. If this fails for you, let me know. See, it just actually failed. Let's retry. If this fails for you, please let me know. I'll put in a ticket. I think I'm going to already have to put in a ticket with Google. So there, it worked. So I don't know why, guys. Sometimes it's just kind of glitchy. So I just wanted y'all to know about that. So now it opened. You notice that it went ahead and created the Google form. I can go ahead and put in like test astronomy quiz. Okay, obviously you're going to do this more the way it's supposed to be. We want to make sure grade importing is turned on. We're taking this to our astronomy class. So actually it already picked that up. We can put in a due date, which our due date can be Friday. And then we don't have to use a topic, but we can put that in the topic if we want. We can set our grade points, and everything looks good. Now, on the Google Forms side, which you always want to make for sure, this is really, really imperative for linking your grades to your classroom, your Google Classroom, is you want to come in here to the questions, and you want to make sure you go into the answer key and choose which is the correct answer and select how many points. So I want to make this like 10 points, right, or whatever. You want to make for sure that you do that as well, okay? But everything looks pretty good. It created the quiz. Now I'm just going to assign this. And so now if we go back, we're going to leave the lesson plan. If we go to our home page, astronomy class, we'll go to classwork. There's our test quiz with our quiz, okay? So hopefully that will work for you. Like I said, if you have any problems with that, please let me know. I want to know if you have any problems, but everything looks like it's working great. Okay. Now, the cool part here is what I told you a while ago is you don't have to generate a quiz by going through the whole lesson plan thing first. You can just click generate a quiz. As a matter of fact, you don't even need a TEK. So let's just say we want to do 8th grade again. We're going to do 3 questions. And this time, instead of pasting in a TEK, I'm just going to say the moon. I want a quiz about the moon. It's going to generate some learning objectives for us here again. Students will be able to describe the major moon phases, new moon, crescent, quarter, gibbous, full moon, okay? And maybe that's all I want, okay? I just want something on the phases of the moon. I want it to focus on that objective. And let's do multiple choice, generate questions. So same way we did it a while ago, you're seeing, hopefully you can see the power of being able to generate a really quick quiz, and we can still edit this if we need. We can chat and modify it. We can come over here and edit the details and then regenerate if we need to, but everything looks pretty good. So number 1, which of the following describes the phases of the moon when the side facing the Earth is fully illuminated, appearing as a complete circle in the night sky? Correct answer is the full moon. Okay. Okay. Whoops. Are y'all not seeing that? I'm so sorry. How long have I been off of there? If I go back, did you see the whole setup part? Let me see. I'll show you guys again. So I just clicked on generate quiz, and then I put 8th grade, number of questions is 3, and then I put the moon. That's basically all I did, okay? I deleted that learning, all of those learning objectives except for one of them, and then I chose multiple choice, generate questions. So that's how easy it is to create a quiz. So hopefully you guys are kind of seeing that now. It gives me my questions and answers. This is where I was showing you could edit the details or regenerate if you need. Obviously, we want to export that to a doc again before we export that to a class. Okay, so that's how you would do that. Okay, next, I'm going to go ahead and leave this. I want to show you guys this releveling text tool. This is a really cool tool, probably my favorite. So relevel text. Now, I have this pre-made text about something in astronomy. I geek out about this. This is called the celestial sphere. And the celestial sphere, well, I'll just read it. It says the celestial sphere is an abstract conceptual model that has been fundamental to astronomy since antiquity. Right? It's in its essence is an imaginary sphere of arbitrary large radius, concentric with the Earth, upon which all celestial bodies appear to be projected. And you're saying, Josh, what in the heck does that mean? That's actually exactly the point, is that I grabbed this text from a college textbook, okay? And so on purpose, I wanted to push the boundaries to see, maybe you as a teacher have a really great resource, but it doesn't match the grade that you need. So what we're going to do is relevel this. And I want to see if it can take this college level reading and relevel it into a lower grade. So let's push it. Let's really push it here. We want to set the target grade. Let's maybe do like 4th grade. Okay, let's just see what it gives us. So we're going from college to 4th grade to relevel this. Here we can add some keywords. So maybe we want to keep like the term celestial sphere. So we can basically put that in. And once we do enter or a comma, it will add that as 2 different terms. We can put maybe, let's see, equator or equatorial. So we can basically tell it what words, what terms we want it to continue to use. All right, so you get the idea. So now let's click generate. I love this page. So it gives us basically before and after. So you can see here's the original text, which came from the college textbook. And then we get a little bit longer because it's explaining it in more basic for 4th grade, the generated text. And you will see the green highlighted is for what's been adjusted. And the underlined, the dot underlined is the keywords. So we've got celestial sphere. We've got everywhere that appears. And so let's see if we can understand this now. The celestial sphere is a pretend idea, like a big make-believe ball. People who study stars, called astronomers, have used this idea for a long, long time. Even though it's simple, it's a very helpful tool. It helps us to understand where things like the stars and planets seem to be in the sky and how they seem to move when we watch them from Earth. Pretty cool, right? So it says, imagine a huge invisible sphere with the Earth right in the middle. So it's explaining this on a fourth grade level. I really like this. I'm going to go ahead and once again export that to a doc because you want to keep that. And I think that looks pretty good. So and it keeps my original text along with the generated text. Okay, let's go back to Google Classroom. Now we can add this to a class. Once again, we can choose the class, and if it's an assignment or just a material that they can read. And that's basically what you can do with the text releveler. Okay, so you can add it or export to a doc. I think that's really cool. Me personally, I just like the idea of being able to take anything that I find and relevel. Okay, almost done, guys. I want to show you this informational text. So I'm going to click on, where did it go? Informational. I think these tools move around sometimes. Oh, here we go. Write an informational text. So for this one, I'm just going to do something pretty basic. I'm going to do fourth grade. Our topic, we can still do celestial sphere. And I'm too lazy to type that out, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Let's generate some learning objectives. I honestly don't know if the celestial sphere is anything that fourth grade students are probably not going to be learning about yet, but I like the idea of just to give you an example. Here we've got some learning objectives. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to click generate. So we're going to create an informational text. And by the way, you could start off with this tool. You can start by having the AI generate the text, and then you can copy and paste this text into another tool. And you could create questions based off of the text. Or we could also come in here and regenerate or edit details, or we could chat with it. Actually, I don't think the chat is on this option, but you get the idea. We can still modify this if we need to. So here's our text. It says, your imaginary celestial ball, exploring the night sky. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered where all of those twinkling stars, the bright moon, and the brilliant sun are located? It seems like they are all resting on a giant dark blanket above us. Well, scientists and astronomers have a special way of imagining where all these objects appear to be. They call it the celestial sphere. Are you guys learning anything today? I think you are. This is really powerful in my opinion because I learn a lot, obviously, just by generating some of these texts. Okay. So it actually helps me as a teacher to understand how I can teach as well. And then it's really cool because at the end of the text, what they would read, it gives them some like 3 different points to ponder on. It gives them a fun fact, self-reflection, and something to think about. If the Earth suddenly stopped spinning, what would the sky look like? Okay. So once again, we can export that to a doc, which I highly recommend on everything once again, or we can add that to the class. I'm going to bring this to my astronomy class, and then I'm just going to make this a material and click confirm. Okay, you can make an assignment if you want them to read it. Okay, but that's kind of what that would look like. Okay, guys, last but not least, I want to show you one more tool before we leave today. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I want to show you guys how to create a rubric. So we're going to come over here to our create a rubric tool. Actually, once again, I'm just going to use this exact same teak. So here on this bottom, I'm going to paste in teak 8, recognizing the sun is a medium-sized star. Let's do, I think, it really doesn't matter. It just depends on what you want. I think 4 performance levels will probably be good. We're going to say grade 8 again. And then here we need this. We have to add an assignment instructions. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to that assignment that I had saved. That's why it's really important to always save this to a doc. And I'm just going to take this assignment overview here, and then I'm going to paste that into here as my assignment instructions, and then we'll just generate the criteria. Now, obviously, I know some of you guys are seeing that this isn't what you would probably want to do in real life, but once again, this is just to give you an example. All right, so here's my rubric. So it says this is for grade 8. analysis of the sun size classification. I can expand this top part here and edit the details again if I missed anything, and then regenerate the rubric. But everything looks pretty good, I think. Right here, we've got the criterion. So we've got analysis of the sun size, identification of the Milky Way structure, scale, application of models, accurate location. Those are all of the things that I want to base this off. And then obviously we've got our levels, the 4 levels. We've got exceeding, meeting, approaching, and far from approaching. And it lays it out in a really nice, clean, I think this is a really great rubric. And so now what I can do is I can add this to the class. It'll let you do it as a sheet or a doc. I'm going to go ahead and probably, we can do that. You can try that later. I want to show you just what it does if you do export rubric. I like to export it to a doc. If you want it to be in those cells, though, you might want to do a sheet. And here's what it looks like. Now, the only thing I might do is add the title at the top, but basically everything looks really nice once it's in the form of a doc. And so I have that. I can keep that just in case, you know, in case I don't want to lose that. And so basically that is how you would do that. And like I said, you want to make sure that you're saving everything to a doc. But basically, we just, you know, we encourage you guys, get in there, try it for yourself. There's a ton of other tools. You can see you can write a story, you can tackle common misconceptions. There's a translation. I have not actually used that. You can create a vocabulary list. A lot of really great ones. And then, of course, those gems. Let me go back and pull up my my little QR code, or the little, I already forgot the name of it. Oh, EduGems. So if you guys want to check out EduGems, that would be great. And so, but yeah, guys, I just want to tell everyone thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned something great. Hopefully I can let you go a little bit early here today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, guys. I can see all of your hand claps. Thank you so much for being so great today. Y'all were very energetic. Even though a lot of you guys didn't say anything, just seeing your little emojis popping up on the screen was really great. Gave me a lot of energy. So thank you guys for being such a great audience. We will see you all next time.